So talking about actually making this film and getting the gang back together again. What was that like? I mean, this isn't the first time you've done a sort of sequel. I mean, Get Into the Greek was in its own way a spin-off of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and this is obviously the characters we're familiar with, but a different set of problems. In terms of assembling the team, when you go to your family and say, "Do you want to be in a movie playing the family?" What's their response?
Well, I have to ask my wife first, and I always sell it by not really telling her too much about it. I'm just like, we do like a movie about this time, and it could be good. Like, I don't really talk about how gut wrenching it'll be. It'll be funny. Maybe the kids will be in it. I don't know. And then she's like, I don't know about the kids being in it. Yeah, we can talk about that later. Maybe not. I don't know. And it's just a giant manipulation to get them to do it. And then later, I realized the idea of using the family is just a reckless act. Because if the movie's terrible, it just so humiliates them worldwide. So a lot of the tension of making the movie and the tension for Barry and Clayton was just my terror of ruining their lives. Because people kind of inherently want to hate you for working with your family. That's just, it's a Bennifer situation. And so people are, they're subtly gunning for you. Like, how dare you think you're allowed to have a happy life and work together? And there's something I think, I don't know, maybe it's just human nature, but you do feel it like, he's working with his family, he better fucking pull it off or the daggers are out. And so I felt that all the time, and it was a little scary. Luckily, my wife is a brilliant actress, and she's goes for the truth and is courageous, and a lot of the things in the movie, which are the great moments, are things that she's pushing to do, or ideas she's pitched me. And my kids are very comfortable in front of the camera, so I thought it would work, but it was scary, right?
Yeah, it was quite frightening.
Because if they hate me, then we can't really make the movie.
There's also kind of a constant terror too, that you just thought that at some point either Maud or Iris would just say, that's not happening today.
I did think just like Iris, because she's 8. She could just go, I want to go home. And then Leslie is very sympathetic to that, because she doesn't even want them there to begin with. So if Iris is like, I'm tired, this isn't fun, Leslie would probably go let her go home, stop ruining her life. So it was really also about making them happy so they wouldn't leave.
Lots of popsicles.
More candy every time Leslie walked away. Give him some M&Ms. And then I'm eating all the cupcakes on the set. We're doing the scenes about cupcakes, and Leslie walks away, and I'm eating them behind her back, and it's like a bizarro world of what we're shooting. But they had a blast doing it. They really enjoyed making the movie. And my kids, who have have had a terrible sibling rivalry over the years, really bad, which was heartbreaking because they're 5 years apart, so they were never in sync. Since the movie, they've gotten along great. It was doing the movie forced them to deeply think through how they felt about each other, and ever since that, they get along way better. So
I think that they saw the mirror of their relationship in the movie and just thought, does Dad think that we really hate each other that much? And
Yeah.
do we? And that forced them to think about it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that also I was pointing out that it's ridiculous to fight. And so on some level, they just were forced to take a step back and observe themselves in a way kids probably never do. And in some ways, it made them feel guilty about it. Wow, we're fighting so much. He wrote a movie about it.
Plus the day when the sun's going down and she finally lets her sister watch Lost, and you're not getting what you want, and we're running out of time, and you yell at her and say, pretend like you love your sister!
Yes, that happened too. So the hardest scene in the entire movie was that scene at the end when Maud says, I'm going to let you watch Lost with me. And then Iris has that big laugh, and they run off together happily. It was impossible because they don't like each other that much, and they couldn't even fake the joy of it. And I did, scream, pretend you like each other. And then like I was like, well, just grab Iris, you know, knowing that she'll giggle or something, and then it just happened. But that actually was, we were really kind of freaking out. Like, oh no, we're not gonna get the moment when they bond.